Right, so today I'm going to show you how to make some of my regular flowers with a little bit of bling in the middle. So what you'll need is a book and a wooden stem. You'll also need some scissors, some florist tape. You'll want some wallpaper paste, and the link to mix this up is in the video description. You just need to use wallpaper paste flakes. And you will need some glue. I like to use this high-tack glue. And you will also need some thread. Now if you want to add leaves or anything like that, or if you want to do this on any of my other roses, that's fine as well, but I'm just going to make this one as a standard novella rose. So you'll also need to have a template for the petals, and if you don't have a printer you can draw one of these out, and if you do have a printer you can print them out. The link for both of these methods is in the video description as well. So yeah, hopefully that makes life easier. The other thing you'll need is either a pack of these self-adhesive pearl blobs. I don't know, they're sticky on one side and flat on one side and raised on the other side. I'm not sure if they have a special name. You can either use the pearls or you can use these diamante style plastic things. Again, they're flat on one side and adhesive, excuse me. They are about the same size. They're about 0.5 centimeters, so 5 millimeters wide. You can buy smaller ones as well. The smaller ones are ideal for the smaller roses and the tea roses, which I don't think I've posted a video for yet, but I will, so just bear that in mind. So the very first thing you'll need to do, and if you have seen any of my other videos, you can skip this part, but attaching the first petal or the first bit of the book page to the wooden stem is different on this rose. So I do need to cut some paper first. So we will take 4 pages from the book, and I'm not going to pick any pages with pictures on. So yeah, just tear 4 pages from your book and make sure that they're nicely aligned, and then we can fold them in half and simply cut round your template. Now you'll see I'm leaving a little gap at the bottom for the margin. You don't have to. This book is quite a wide book, so the pages are slightly bigger. And what will happen is, if you have a bigger margin at the bottom of your petal, you'll end up with a slightly larger rose, but this is the minimum size rose that you want. So I'll cut 3 times from the book pages. Each cut will give you 8 petals. And then if you have made some of my other roses before and you want to learn just how to add the diamante, this is the bit to watch. So what I normally do is I'll take a bit of the leftover book page and cut it into a square, and then I'll simply fold it in half And then inside the fold, I'll just spread some wallpaper paste. I'll take my wooden stick and placing it about 1 centimetre in from the edge and right up to the fold, I will press that down. And then what we've got is kind of like a flag on a stick, really. And the short end, we're going to fold over and we're just going to roll it in place. And then to keep that held in place, we'll take some thread. And if you've seen my other flowers, you'll see that binding is my preferred method. I'll just tuck that thread under and bind it down several times just to keep it all in place. And I'll pop a little bit of wallpaper paste on the edge of the thread. So I'll just grab a vase just so I can pop this in and show you. Clean up a bit. So we want to take either the diamante or the pearl. Now I'm not going to stick this directly on because the adhesive on the back of these isn't very good. So what I like to do is pop a little bit of the high tack glue right on the end. And then take your little gem, just squish that on top. And then leave that to dry. So that can dry, well, it won't take long if you're using high tack glue. If you're using PVA glue, it will take slightly longer. So once it's dry, I'd make the rest of the rows. I'm going to show you how to do it now because some of you may not have seen it before. But if you have seen it before, I won't be offended if you stop there because that is basically it. Or you can skip straight forward to the end. So what we want to do is lay out our petals, and if you are familiar with my flower making process, you will know that I like to lay them out in 3 rows of 6, 2 to the right and all the spares to the left. Now if any don't have proper text on them, I will switch them out with some of my spares, but these ones all look okay. Then I'll put a blob of wallpaper paste on each of the petals. And then with my thread, I find it easier to unravel, you know, an arm's length of thread. And now that I've had my frozen shoulder fixed, I can do that. So let's just presume this one is dry, even though it's not. The reason I suggest letting it dry is because if it falls off mid-make, it can be a pain. So if I'm making several of these, I'll just line them up and leave them till the next day. So what we want to do is pick up our petals, and this is very similar to my other flower making, except we haven't put the curled petal on the rose to start with. So we want to take our first petal from the row, the first row, and we want to line it up so that the top of the, let me focus that in, the top of the gem is just a few millimeters underneath the top of this petal. And then curl the first petal around and bind it in place with your thread, and you'll see that that makes a little protective area for the gem. And the next petal we want to kind of place directly opposite the highest point. And And the third petal, we want to kind of nestle in between the two. So for all of the rest of the petals, this is my standard process. We will align the middle of the new petal with the very edge of the previous petal. And just bind it in place with a couple of twists of the thread. And just carry on doing this for the rest of the petals. Take care to make sure that the petals are all aligning at the bottom. And if you get stuck or have any problems at all, do leave me a comment below, or you can catch up with me on Instagram as well if you have Instagram. So this rose with the straight petals is pretty much just my standard novella rose with a little bit of bling in it now. And then, sorry, I got so engrossed in what I was doing I forgot to tell you what to do. And this is why I do the voiceover afterwards rather than during the process. But today I'm doing it during the process because I've been so unwell that I've run out of time for this tutorial. So I'm doing it all live to get it done. So just snip off the thread and then put some wallpaper paste all around the bunchy bit at the bottom here, and follow the direction of the thread, and that will just hold it all in place. And then the rose doesn't look very open at the minute, so we'll just try not to touch that in the middle if it's still wet, but just tease the petals open and you'll see they just fall out nicely. And you can push them back, pull them out, however you like. So I would normally let this rose dry overnight so that I don't move all the petals out of the way. And if you put that to one side, and leave it overnight, when you come back, the petals will be set in place and they won't move around much. But because, as I've already said, I've been so unwell that I've been running out of time for these videos, and I'd really like to get this one out there. So I'm going to quickly show you how to bind it. Yeah, I wouldn't normally do this. I would normally leave it overnight. So you just want to take your florist tape and roll it around all of that bunchy bit underneath the rose, and then just simply run it down the wooden stem. Now if you want to add leaves, you can easily do so, and if you look at any of my tutorials that have got leaves on them, you can just skip to the part in the video that has the leaf making and the leaf attaching. As I say, this video is really primarily about showing you how to make a rose with some bling in it, and that is pretty much it. And don't forget, if you do make one of these roses and you want to give it as a gift, there is a video showing you how to make a very simple gift sleeve, and I'll put the link for that in the video description as well. So thank you for watching. Do hit like or subscribe, and I post a new tutorial every Sunday, and have a look at my profile for the schedule for other videos. Thanks for watching.